Hi guys, welcome back to A Page in the Chapter, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Paige and it is time for another reading vlog. I am all dressed up today because I just filmed my magical hopathon TBR, but I promise this looking put together is not going to last for very long. Once again, I am not entirely sure what the plan for this weekend of reading is. I am currently reading Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I am 130 pages into this book and I am enjoying it so far. So the main aim of this vlog would just be to get this book finished, and it might take me the whole weekend to read this because it's kind of heavy reading. This follows our main character Violet, and she is a vampire estate agent and she's desperately trying to sell this super big luxurious house, but it is haunted by the ghost who originally owned it and lived there and was murdered in that house, but he can't remember anything surrounding the events of his murder. So Violet enlists Fox, who is a medium, and a whole load of supernatural creatures to kind of team up together and help solve the circumstances surrounding his murder, so that hopefully the ghost can pass on and Violet can get back to selling this house. It is, in true Olivia Blake fashion, a very weird and wonderful story that is the most simplistic and easy to understand way that I could explain this plot to you, but it is so much weirder than that, honestly. For one thing, Fox is the godson of Death, and Death is a personification who also narrates some of the book. It is so weird and wonderful and genuinely had me gripped right from the beginning, but it is kind of like heavy reading, takes a lot of like brain power and focus to keep track of all of the characters and keep myself firmly within the world. But I really like Violet and Fox as characters. I think they're really interesting and well-rounded characters and I'm really enjoying reading about them, so they're kind of keeping me hooked. But if you enjoyed the Atlas Six, then you would probably enjoy this book too. It is honestly very fun, and yeah, just so much weird and random stuff going on that I couldn't even begin to tell you the full extent of the plot. That is what we're starting with reading, and then we've got some options, and I might put it to Instagram, to be honest. We have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, we have Divine Rivals, we have A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee, we have The Modern Girl's Guide to Magic. Like, we just have so many autumnal spooky season book options, and so who even knows where to start really. It will probably have to be a Bookstagram helps me decide kind of situation. But for now we're reading Masters of Death, and it might take me the whole weekend to read anyway and it won't even matter. But if you guys like seeing weekly reading vlogs, weekend reading vlogs, just reading vlogs in general really, then do please feel free to hit that big red subscribe button down below and stay tuned for future content. I upload vlogs very regularly. They are my favourite type of content to film, so don't be afraid to stick around. Also, do please feel free to check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Page in Chapter, so that if I do go to Instagram and ask Instagram to decide what to read next in the future, you can have a say, and then that means you can have a say in what you see me read in vlogs and see reviews of, so it just helps you have some control over the content that you watch. So I've got a crap ton of editing that needs to get done for this afternoon, but I will catch up with you in a bit when it is time to dive back into this weird and wonderful world that Olivia Blake has created, and I will see you in a bit. I have not had the relaxing, productive morning that I wanted. I did manage to make it to Starbucks to get some writing of my manuscript done, and I finished the editing that I needed to do whilst I was there. Then my laptop ran out of charge, like mid-burst of inspiration, and I had to come home because I didn't have a charger with me, which was a vital error, I know, but mistakes were made. And it's just been like chaos ever since. It's literally like nearly 4 o'clock I think, and I just haven't accomplished any of the things that I wanted to accomplish today. I haven't done any reading at all. Chances of me getting Masters of Death finished this weekend are low, but I'm gonna sit here and commit to 100 pages, and once I've read 100 pages I will update you, and I will upload my video at the same time, so we're checking 2 things off the to-do list in one go. But the writing is probably gonna have to wait a little while. it is 20 to 6 and I've read 100 pages of Masters of Death. I'm gonna keep reading, to be honest, because I'm having a really good time. I think I actually prefer this to the Atlas 6, but I wouldn't really know how to review it. Like, it's just so weird. But what I am really enjoying about this book is it reveals things and answers questions, and then kind of within the same chapter that it reveals things and gives you information and answers questions, it just creates new ones. Like, you're just constantly feeling like you have no idea what's going on, and when you uncover one little element and get one answer, 10 more things become confusing and you just feel lost all over again. And it's a really fun experience, but I'm really hoping that I leave this book with the answers. Like, if I were to leave this book and not get the answers that I want and not have things make sense, then I would be horrendously disappointed and I would probably give this a lower rating. But right now I am 267 pages in and I'm leaning towards giving this a 4-star right now. I've got about 150 pages left, I think, so try and read maybe the other 50 tonight and then do 100 tomorrow, not entirely sure. I'm gonna keep this vlog going into Monday again as well, probably. I think my weekend vlogs will be Friday to Monday, at least for the foreseeable future anyway, but I'll just keep you updated on how we're progressing with this book. I finished it. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I think the characters were all really likable. The personification of death was really actually quite sweet by the end of it, and I really loved just the whole presentation of all the characters. I thought they were all ridiculously well-rounded. No one was all good and no one was all evil, and I just thought it was a really interesting take on the whole mortal versus immortal debate that was kind of created as a result of the storyline and the characters that were weaved in. The only reason that I didn't give this 5 stars is that I think the fact that there was 2 romances in this book, I don't think they were developed enough. It felt like a lot of the development took place off page, which I wouldn't have minded because this book isn't really marketed as a romance. The only reason that I've knocked it down for that is because there's some kind of like hard-hitting emotionally filled scenes at the end of this book that I think just would have hit harder had the relationship development or romance element of this book been better throughout the rest of the book. Like, it was just really difficult to kind of feel some of the sappy emotional scenes at the end of the book because I just didn't, whilst I cared about the characters, I didn't feel like I cared about their relationships as much as I would have wanted to. So that was the only reason why I gave it 4 stars instead of 5. I was really debating it because I felt like my love for the characters and my enjoyment of the book was at a 5-star level. But then the more I thought about it and the more I thought, yeah, there were things that I would like to have seen improved upon, made me think, okay, it's not a 5-star then because it's not perfect. There's things that I would do better, so 4-star it is. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm actually going to be spending the rest of the day reading Divine Rivals. It was between Divine Rivals and A Lesson in Vengeance, but I have seen so much chatter around Divine Rivals that is what I'm going to be reading because I am so excited about it and I want to be in on this hype. Good morning guys. Yesterday and last night I fell down a complete rabbit hole and I read 150 pages of this because I am adoring it. It is so cute. It feels like a fantasy version of You've Got Mail with like an enchanted bookcase / enchanted typewriter. Just very endearing characters, and I just really love the story. It is so cozy and cute and like high stakes but still cozy at the same time. I think the vibes are fantastic. I can see why everyone is recommending this. I will be recommending this from now on because I'm having such a good time with it. So yeah, I read 150 pages pages of this last night, and then I stopped reading because me and my boyfriend Jack have been watching Gavin and Stacey lately, because I had never seen Gavin and Stacey, and so he's been showing it to me, and we finished it last night, and what a show. What a show. They just don't make them like that anymore. It was a really good show. I got really into it. We watched one episode and that was it. Like, I was hooked. I was really enjoying it. I do think Stacey is like the worst character in the whole show though. She's a little bit of a wet wipe, a little bit needy and controlling, but other than that, great show. Nessa, loved her. Favourite character. But yeah, finished that last night. I wasn't as emotional about finishing it as I thought I would be, but I did wish there were more episodes. Now, I am not going to finish this vlog or wrap this vlog up right now, because I actually think I could get most of this book finished today. So I'm just going to do it whilst vlogging so you guys can see more of my thoughts on Divine Rivals. Seems silly to not give you them when I've read 150 pages of this book. And I also have the whole day is open, so I may as well just sit here and read like I did last week. I'm actually like running incredibly late now, but I finished Divine Rivals. I read this in less than 24 hours. It was just that captivating. 4 stars easily, honestly 4.5 stars. I liked this more than I liked, I don't know, I liked this in a different way to the way that I loved Masters of Death, so very, very hard to compare them. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. The way this ended, I need more. I need to know, like, what? This series is gonna destroy my soul. I can feel how much this is gonna hurt me, and like I felt like in a similar way to Masters of Death, like I felt kind of separate from the story in this, which is why I'm not giving it 5 stars. Like, I thought that I wasn't obsessed with the romance. Like, I wasn't like squealing, kicking my feet. I felt like distanced from it. And then the ending happened, and I no longer felt distanced from the story. I was like, wow, this has hit me real hard. Don't know what to do now. I am an absolute mess. I am gonna go about my day, go do the things that I needed to do before I actually officially like end this vlog, just in case I have some more put together thoughts about Divine Rivals. But wow, I'm not surprised everyone is talking about this. I think everybody needs to be reading it. I'm in shock. I'm actually in shock over that ending. So I've had some time to think and process Divine Rivals a little bit more since I finished it, and the only thing that I can really think about this book is that it has no right being as cozy and welcoming as it is. Like, it's a war fantasy, and yet somehow it doesn't really feel like a war fantasy. I feel like I kind of got tricked into reading the Poppy War series because it starts out as a school setting, and I was like, great, it's a school setting, I'll like that, I like fantasies like that. And then boom, war, heartbreaking war, perils of war, ugh. But this is so cozy. I wouldn't read a war fantasy otherwise. As I said, got tricked into it with the Poppy War. Haven't really read a war fantasy since that, to be honest. I'm a little bit scarred. But this is cute and cozy and really just welcoming. I managed to read it in less than 24 hours. I just couldn't put it down, and I really think that you guys should be reading this. Don't be put off by the fact that it takes place during a magical war. In this book at least, it doesn't really feel like that yet. I'm sure in the next book it might start to, but I'm hoping it still retains that cozy vibe. So all in all, I've read 2 really, really good books in this video. They were both 4 stars, and I loved both of them. They both got the spooky season vibe perfectly. I was very in the mood for Halloween and the autumn season whilst reading both of these, and if either of these are on your radar, I do really think that you should be getting to them because they're both just really, really fun. This is very romance based around writing letters and a typewriter. It feels like a You've Got Mail retelling, and kind of feels like drinking a cup of Earl Grey tea, really, is like the vibes here. This one is more weird and wonderful, with a personification of death and all of these different magical creatures teaming up to win this weird magical like competition so that the whole world doesn't end. It's kind of surreal, but in a really, really intriguing and fascinating way. If you want more of a romance vibe, then this definitely has a better romance element than this one does, but this still has one. I just don't think it was developed as it could have been. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed both of these books. They both get my seal of approval, and I have loved this reading vlog because I've just found some new favourites to talk about, honestly, and I hope that the rest of my autumnal TBR keeps up with the vibes, because these were some very well chosen books. So if you guys liked this video, you liked hearing about these books, you would like to see more from me, then do please feel free to hit that big red subscribe button down below and stay tuned for future content. Also, please leave me some book recommendations because I am in need. I feel like I'm struggling to find some really good books at the moment. I mean, I'm not, obviously, but like I feel like I'm reading all of the good ones. So please leave me some recommendations that you think I would like, and also do please feel free to check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Page and Chapter so you can see what I'm reading and how I'm reviewing it in real time. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, you're enjoying everything you are reading, and there are no reading slumps in your future, and I will see you for my next video. Bye guys.